What's up, guys? Back with another video. You saw I've been gone for a while. This is my freaking third time recording this because of the lighting, and I am sick of it. I should have just did this from the beginning. I was filming by the window, but whatever, it doesn't matter. But this video is more of an opinionated one. Don't come at me for this. This is just my opinion. You're entitled to your own. If you don't like it, tough titty. But I'll be giving you guys 5 reasons why the original Saban era is better, and 5 reasons why the Disney era is better. Power Rangers, of course. But let's begin with 5 reasons why the original Saban era is better. Number 5, better season finales. Now, with the original Saban era, it feels like there were higher stakes, and the Rangers had more to lose, and rightfully so, because the only season finale where the Rangers really didn't lose anything was Zeo. Everything remained intact except the Zeo cycles or something like that. The Zeo cycles got destroyed, but everything else remained intact, like the power chamber and their morphers and all of that. But everyone remembers, when people think of season finales, everyone looks back at the original Saban era, Countdown to Destruction, Journey's End, Fatal Lightspeed, The End of Time, and even a goofy season like Turbo had one of the best season finales, Chasing the Space. But yeah, that's my number 5. Number 4, ratings. The ratings in the original Saban era were great. Everyone was watching Power Rangers back then, and Lost Galaxy got the highest ratings since MMPR, and that hasn't been beat since. And In Space season finale ratings were so strong, they decided to continue with even after saying that was going to be the last season. But with Disney, the ratings started to go down a little bit because I just feel like they weren't promoting it enough or showing it enough love, which is, it's whatever now, but back then everyone was watching Power Rangers when it was on Fox. Number 3, Chip Lynn. Chip had played a huge part in the original Saban era, from the second half of Turbo through Time Force. He was even there before Turbo as a production manager, and then he worked his way up to a writer and then a producer, and he is quite possibly one of the best producers in Power Rangers history. Just ignore his time from Dino Supercharged to Super Ninja Steel. I'm pretending that didn't happen, because honestly, I don't put all the blame on him when it comes to that. I blame it on Saban for trying to use cheesiness to sell Power Rangers. And well, that was the problem. But Chip Lynn, one of the best producers, and I think the one reason I prefer him over Jonathan Zakor is because, unlike Jonathan Zakor, he doesn't copy what the Japanese do. They did it in Time Force. I haven't seen Power Ranger, but I heard they copied essentially the whole thing, but they did it in a good way. But if you look at a season like Samurai, where they copied it from beginning to end, that was Jonathan's fault more than anything, because he was in charge of the show. But that sucked. That was terrible. But Chip is a great writer and great producer, especially when it comes to building characters and building a great story and a badass villain. So I applaud Chip for his contribution to the original Saban era. Number two, the team ups. Now, there are more team ups in the original Saban era than the Disney era. In the Disney era, there were only 4. In Saban, there were 10, I think. It had the Mask Rider, MMPR, Zeo, and Alien. What's his name? Adam and Turbo. Adam in space. Teenage Mutant Turtles in space. Justin in space. Lost Galaxy and Space Rangers, Lightspeed, Lost Galaxy, Time Force, Lightspeed, Wild Force, Time Force, and Forever Red. So yeah, this 10, they outweighed them, just wiped them out with freaking team ups. And they had, the original Saban era paved the way for team ups, and they started the whole, traditional team up thing. The present season with the previous season, and it was always fun to see the previous team pass the torch to the current team. Like, hey, you're the new Red Ranger. Hey, you're the new Pink Ranger. Don't screw this up, type of thing. And when you think of team ups, everyone always talks about Forever Red, Reinforcements from the Future, to the 10 Power / Power Pink, and rightfully so, because those team ups were phenomenal. Of course, Thunderstorm was an awesome team up, but that was in the Disney era. That's one of my favorites, but that was in the Disney era. But the original Saban era has the Disney era beat when it comes to the way they do their team ups, and they just had more of them. And finally, my number one, In Space. Now, In Space was supposed to be the final season of Power Rangers. The ratings were so strong. The ratings were through the roof. It was able to save it, so they continued it on after that. I wish Zane would have been in more episodes. That was kind of a bummer. But this is when the series started to get a darker tone, and that's what we needed, especially after that goofy crap that we got in Turbo, which I think they needed to step their game up with In Space, because after Turbo, watching Turbo, even I was like, wow, I can't wait till I get to the next season. And it just felt like a huge step down from Zeo. So I can see why JDF left when he did. In Space, that's when the darker tone in Power Rangers started, and they've tried to emulate it a few times. Some successful, others not. But In Space saved the freaking franchise, and they still count now to destruction, and it's still one of the best season finales. Those are my 5 reasons why the original Saban era is better. Now, my 5 reasons to why the Disney era is better. Number 5, Super Power Rangers. If you don't know what that means, it means that the Rangers from Ninja Storm through Overdrive had superpowers. Jungle Fury and RPM, they didn't. But it was really cool to see the Rangers for once have superpowers. And SPD, they toned it down a little bit because it was a budget problem, so they couldn't do it in every episode. And oh god, and Mystic Force, they were magicians, obviously. They just posted a pickup on Instagram, uh, on like Power Rangers page, and it was like out of all five of these Dino Gems, which one would you like to have? And I picked Connor's Super Speed. I love Super Speed. I think that'd be really cool. But also Ethan's would be really cool because it could be like Wonder Woman. Someone shoots a bullet at you, you would just pew 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 pew, like the things on her wrist, whether the wristbands or whatever the hell they're called, or someone tries to punch you in your chest, you just flex your muscles like Luke Cage does, like impenetrable skin. That's also really cool. So there's a purpose for each one of them, and in like I said, there's a purpose for each one of these powers, not just the Dino Thunder powers, but SPD, and there's a lot of strong suits, I guess, what I'm trying to say. Number 4, better opening themes. How many times could you hear that God annoying? Well, so far we have not heard it as much as in the Neil Saban era, but the 3 seasons of Go-Go Power Rangers, you get tired of it after a while. And they did get it better after MPR. The Zeo theme is still one of my favorites. It's really catchy, but the Disney themes are a lot more iconic, I think, and a lot more catchy, to say the least. The only one I didn't like was Overdrive. The opening theme of Mystic Force, even though Mystic Force isn't particularly the best season, it has one of my favorite theme songs. I would have to say Ninja Storm too. Ninja Storms was really catchy. Mystic Force was really catchy. Jungle Fears was really catchy. RPM may be bland, but to some people, but I enjoyed it. I don't care what other people think. But yeah, that's my number 4. Better opening themes. Number 3, original producers. Now you have the same producer from MPR to the Half a Turbo. It was Doug, and from the rest of Turbo from the second half of Turbo through Time Force, it was Chip, and while they did excellent jobs, the first 2 seasons of the Disney era were produced by Doug, and after that, that's when they started to get new producers, and I prefer new producers better because it's oh God, what am I trying to say? It's a better, you get new opportunities for different stories, like Eddie Gazillion, excellent storyteller. Unfortunate that they let him go, but he Eddie Gazillion, he told an excellent story in RPM. Virus taking over the city, and the whole Mad Max thing meets Power Rangers was done really well. I love that concept. Great ornaments, even though there are a few issues with SPD, you could put that aside. Excuse me. You can put that aside, considering the amount of love that he has for the season. My number two, Unmore Fights. The Unmore Fights in the original Saban era were good, but like I said about the theme songs, after Mighty Morphin, it kind of, well, I didn't say this about the theme songs, but it's completely different. But after Mighty Morphin, they went downhill, and they were just there weren't a lot of them. I mean, maybe a few here and there, but weren't really a lot of more fight scenes in the original Saban era after Mighty Morphin ended, which is a shame because I love watching more fight scenes. If you would have asked me the seasons that have the best ones are Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, SPD, Jungle Fury, and RPM. And they did an excellent job with these seasons at choreography and stuff like that. The stunts were just awesome. And finally, my number one, RPM. RPM was supposed to be the last season of Power Rangers, just like in space. However, Saban bought it back and rebranded it, which hurt it more than anything, if I were to say so. And one of the best things about RPM was definitely, I would say, having the Rangers start out, setting the team up, and then going into their backstory, as opposed to the other way around, because they have not done that before, and I don't think they've done it since, where they assemble the Rangers and then they have their backstories told, because usually they have it set up the other way. But and each episode is dedicated to a Ranger, and even Dr. K gets her own episode, which I thought was pretty cool. And it was the first season where the Rangers get a mentor that's a kid, which is kind of strange, but she's the smartest one in the room and does make them look a bit goofy sometimes. Excuse me. I'm tired, guys. But yeah, those are my list. That's pretty much it. 5 reasons why the original Saban era is better, and 5 reasons why I think the Disney era is better. Let me know in the comment section below which era do you guys prefer. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.